Welcome to this video on the Capo. My name is Jacob Paul. I'm with Inside Out Online. We're talking about playing in the shape of certain keys and using the Capo to move us out of that key into other keys. If you like the key of D shapes, and what do I mean by that? Well, what are the key of D chords? We've got D, A, G, and B minor. Now, there's some type 2 shapes that hopefully you've learned. If you haven't, I've got videos on the key of D in the open position, in the traditional shapes, and the what I call type 2 shapes, which are common or modern shapes. For example, the best example I can give you for the key of D shapes is we've got our D. The A becomes an A suspended, and all you do is you keep your third finger where it is. And anytime you see a D to an A, you could just replace it with that A sus chord if you think it sounds good and appropriate for the song. It's a cool sounding chord. And here's the other cool chord, the B minor 7. It's got another color in there too, but it's not so important, the theory, except to know that you can do it when you're in the key of D. Check this B minor out. It's super easy to do from D. You just bring those fingers up. Again, check out the video as I get deeper into this stuff. For this video, I'm going to go ahead and play these what I call type 2 shapes. For the G chord, when I'm in the key of D, I usually keep this one here because that's a D note. And I like to keep that D thread going through between all the chords. Even the A keeps the D in it. The B minor keeps the D in it. Okay? Alright, now, we're trying to figure out, I want to play those shapes, right? But I want to see what other keys I can play in. Let's just think about the alphabet. D, if D gets lifted, what's after D? E, F, G, right? How do we get into the key of E while playing D shapes? Going up, Capo 2 will get us into the key of E while playing D shape. D has lifted, right? We've lifted D to E, but I can't play an E shape that'll not play an E chord anymore because we've lifted E. I need to go back that letter below E so that we're back to equilibrium. Whoa, that's a big word. So now my D shape yields an actual E chord. If someone else played an E major and I play this, we'll be playing the same chord. This is just a brighter version of that low E chord. All right, so let's kind of transpose the difference between the key of E and the key of D. You're looking at a chord chart. It says E to B to A, okay? Or what we might call the 1 to the 5 to the 4. Well, I can play my 1 to 5 to 4, and I'll be playing the same chords as the key of E open position. So technically an E, that's a D shape. Technically a B or a B sus, but I'm playing an A shape. What chord is our G shape? What's actually coming out? Not a G chord anymore, but that's right, an A. What about our minor? Let's play that fancy minor 7 shape. It's got a 4 note in it also. Don't worry about that. What's coming out? What is actually playing? Not a B minor chord anymore. What's actually coming out is whatever minor that note is. This is the bass note to that chord. Well, we know that that's a C. There's a C sharp. This is a fancy C sharp minor 7 chord now. Because we knew how to transpose, we were able to play these other shapes. So let's go 6 to 5 to 4 to 1. Yeah? All right, so the key of D shapes works great for the key of E. We could also say it works for the key of F, but I'm going to move forward to a more common key, the key of G, to use D shapes and to get me into the key of G. This is really similar or close to Here Comes the Sun, George Harrison. He plays these D shapes up Capo, somewhere around here. I can't remember right now. But this is a G chord. What's coming out is a G chord. If you play open G, boom. And I'm playing this really bright G, right? We have this low G and this really bright G. They can complement each other. You might think of this shape as, on the 5th fret, as kind of like a ukulele frequencies, right? It's just real bright and pleasant. There's nothing bassy holding this shape, but if you have someone down here jangling on this open G, they'll complement each other really nicely. Let's look at the guitar neck a little bit together. We've memorized 6 notes, right? G, A, B, C, D, E. In another video, I've also talked about the 2 down, 2 over rule. And that rule is this: 2 strings down and 2 notes up gets you an octave. So if this is a G note, 2 strings down, 2 frets up gets us a G note. That note there is the bass note for our D shape here. If you think about an open D chord, the bass note for it is this open D string. Slide that up. Now, what was D is now all the way up here to this G. G, G. We're just memorizing. Since we know that this is G, we can know that that's G, and it's being the bass note for this D chord. The 3rd string down is the bass note for your D shape. Let's put it somewhere like right here. Okay, let's capo here. That note is an F note. Here's an F note, 1st fret, top string. 2 strings down, 2 frets up, F note. There's my bass note. If I play the major chord, the D shape from there, what's actually coming out is an F chord. Let's go back to G. G, 2 down, 2 up. G, G chord. Another note that is helpful with the D shape is this note right here where your 3rd finger is. This is a G note. This will always be a G note, no matter where your capo is, right? This will always be a G note. G is such a common note or chord that you might as well put it to memory. If you haven't memorized any notes from that B string, it's not a bad one to just put to memory. G note right there. So one of the takeaways from this video is that the D chord, its bass note is, let's say, not here on this fret, but back 2 frets from the chord. So whatever chord you need to be looking back here as you look for a home for this D shape. Okay. Capo here gets you a G chord because that's a G note, right? 2 down, 2 over. Move that up here. Let's go 5th fret. A, right? A, capo, boom, A chord, way up here on the 7th fret, capo. This yields us a chord. See? Low version, high version. Thank you for watching that video on D shapes and using the capo up the neck to get us into other keys. Definitely check out the other videos at insideoutonline.com.